Going live. All right. Day 3 at the Comic-Con here at Washington State Summer Con. And you know, it's been a fun time so far. We'll see if anyone jumps in here. We have a guest that's going to be making his way over here pretty quickly. Very excited to have this gentleman coming over here. You're going to know who he is when he gets here. If you're a fan of the Incredible Hulk, or if you're a fan of the Maestro, he has been working on Hulk for a long time, and right now he has the Maestro series coming on, and also the Symbiote Spider-Man as well. And very excited to have this gentleman. He's on his way over right now. Good morning, Peter. Very excited to have you over here, my friend. I can have you right over here. Hopefully this works for you.
A little high.
A little high? I'm a tall guy. There you go.
Oh, there I am.
There you are, Peter, right there. Actually, the camera's right up there, but you can see the screen right there.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, Peter David, the one, the only, this gentleman right here.
Where should I look?
Right there. That'll work right there.
Hi.
All right, there you go. First off, you have worn this jacket all 3 days. Are you not sweating?
No.
No. Where do you live? Because you must live in a different
New
climate.
York.
Okay.
No, it's not a matter of that. I had a stroke 8 years ago, and the stroke damaged my body's ability to handle temperature.
Okay.
So I'm perpetually cold.
Wow.
It tends to be more cold than hot.
Mm-hmm.
So with that steady breeze that
yeah.
comes through, I would be absolutely freezing my ass off if I was not wearing this leather jacket, which my wife bought for me for an anniversary present.
That's pretty cool. I like it. That's the suit that they wore in the Avengers Endgame when they went to do the time travel and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have the rest of the suit, do you?
No, that would be pretty cool if I could time travel.
So how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine.
How have you enjoyed the con? I mean, this is the first con you've done in the last couple of years?
No, it's the second.
Okay.
The first convention I did was some weeks back in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
Which I should mention, they really managed to recover very well from being destroyed by Godzilla.
Really?
Yes. In the first couple of minutes of Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla destroyed Pensacola, Florida. And I'm watching this and going, well, holy crap, how are they going to recover from this in time to do the convention? But I have to say, they managed to cover it pretty well.
They did.
I mean, you could not tell that Godzilla destroyed half the city.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yesterday, when we were on your panel, we were talking about your current project that you're working on, Maestro.
Yes.
So I was hoping you kind of share some of the current stuff you're doing. I think you said you have one more issue to go?
No, I have one more issue to write on the latest series.
Okay.
And then we're going to be doing at least one more limited series.
Okay. And are you going to be introducing any new villains to the prey for the new one? Because Dr. Doom was featured in the last one.
Yeah.
You don't want to spill you don't have to spill the beans. I don't want to ruin it.
I do not want to spill the beans. The latest issue is out.
Yeah.
Which shows that the Doom Maestro relationship isn't necessarily what you expected it to be. Yeah. Although then it turns out that it is exactly what you expect it to be. So I like messing with readers' expectations.
Yeah. So I noticed Maestro got his arm cut off, and then it regrew. Yeah. Is that a power he's always had? Did I miss something?
The Hulk is able to regenerate from damage.
Okay.
I established that back in Hulk 340 when he fought Wolverine.
Sure.
And
wonderful book, by the way.
And that has simply been expanded on in the recent Immortal Hulk series, in which it's pretty much established that you can put a bullet in his brain, he will recover from that.
Yeah.
So my attitude was, let's take his regeneration powers to the next level.
Yeah.
I mean, if you cut his head off, would he regenerate another head? I don't think so. But, well, he loses an arm and regenerates another arm.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed to me an interesting direction in which to take it.
Yeah. So when does the next series come out?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know the pub date.
There you go. But you also do the Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yes.
And a lot of those are one-shots?
No, those are all, again, limited series.
Okay.
Marvel really seems to be into doing these limited series, running 5 issues each. It's like,
Well, they're
I
the
don't
perfect
know.
size for trades,
yes,
and that's another #1 issue.
yes,
And
that's
those always
exactly right.
do very
I mean,
well.
honestly, if I were running a comic book company,
Yeah.
I would stop numbering them.
Okay.
Because people order a lot of copies of #1 and then automatically cut their orders for #2. I have
Yes.
no idea why. If you do away with numbers, people aren't going to be beholden to the issue numbers.
There you go.
So my attitude is I would just put months on them so you could distinguish, one from the
That's
other.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Out of all of this time we've talked about stuff like that, that's never come up.
Yeah, I mean, people may order less of a #2 than they do of a #1.
Sure.
I don't know if they're going to order less of an October issue than a September issue.
There you go. Very true.
No.
You've been in the industry a long time. You've seen it. You've seen it evolve. What's your take on the industry right now as today? I mean, because for the simple fact that in today's day and age, there's movies and everywhere, and there's TV shows all over. That's the main thing for Hollywood is.
Well, yeah, I mean, the
the
thing
stuff.
is that comic books were always viewed as some sort of a niche thing, which really doesn't make sense because if you look at the top 50 movies in box office,
Yes.
46 of them are comic book or science fiction or fantasy. Not bad for a niche industry.
Yeah.
So I would say that making the movies has certainly breathed new life into comic books because, at least with Marvel, the comic books serve to provide inspiration for storylines and characters. I mean, in the Infinity War, oh my God, what's going to happen? Well, if you read the Infinity War, you'll have some idea of what's going to happen. When you're talking about movies that make billions of dollars, that certainly helps to raise your credibility and reason for being as far as the corporate honchos are concerned. That doesn't really seem to be quite happening over at DC Comics, but at Marvel, DC's got its own host of problems. But that's certainly the case in Marvel Comics, where we have not allowed the tail to wag the dog. The comic books come first. The movies are great, but the comic books are what comes first.
Are you surprised that the success from the movies and the TV shows don't really translate into new, younger readers for comic books? Because you would think that it would, because we weren't exposed to that.
Why would you think that would? I mean, the Batman TV series came on the air.
Yeah.
Millions of people viewed it. Do you think millions of people then ran out and bought Batman comic books?
I would hope so.
No. No. Movies, television shows, these don't translate to increased sales in comic books. Reading is a totally different skill set. It involves genuine participation by the fan. A movie, you just sit there and let it wash over you. Movies require no work whatsoever. Reading requires a bit of work. And a lot of people don't want to be bothered. I mean, years ago, I was at a playground with my daughter at the time. She was about 4 years old. In those days, people would look at her and they go, "Oh, is this your first grandchild?" And I noticed some kids running around. And they had Spider-Man sneakers and Spider-Man T-shirts and a Spider-Man hat. They were attired head to foot in Spider-Man. So I went over and chatted with the kids because, if you're an adult and you go over and start chatting with kids, what could possibly go wrong? And I asked them if they are fans of Spider-Man. They said, "Oh, yeah, we love Spider-Man." I said, "Do you read the comics?" They went, No. They had it was like they had no idea what I was talking about. No, they don't read the comics. They watch the TV shows, they watch the movies, they play the video games, but they absolutely will not read a comic book. When I was the age of those kids, comic books were the only medium that I could have to experience, an adventure of a comic book. Now, they're in so many different venues that the comic books are incidental.
Yeah.
And there's not even an awareness of it. I mean, I was in a comic book store once and I heard a little boy say with great excitement, "Mommy, look, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books too."
Oh, not even knowing.
No, the kid had no idea that they originated in the comic books. To him, the Turtles were a cartoon series.
Yeah.
This is before the movies.
Sure. So we're talking about the correlation between younger audience and movies and TV. Now, let me ask you this.
Sure.
The movies and TV, as far as a speculation, making comics worth more money. Do you see the correlation between that?
No.
No?
No.
You don't think they should have, one should affect the other?
Should they? I have no idea. I'm not going to weigh in on the morality of it.
Sure.
My attitude is, do they? No.
Okay.
No, I don't think that the movies... Well, actually, turns out, I am told, that on some occasions they do.
Yes.
I mean, certain characters achieve sudden popularity,
Mhm.
and suddenly the comic books that relate to those appearances suddenly jump on the marketplace.
They do. Yeah, that is.
So
the
you know
state right now.
that apparently does happen, and I just kind of shrug and go, okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting because anytime we hear anything in that's a good option, or there's going to be an appearance, or
Yeah.
there's tons of speculation, like the new WandaVision show.
Yeah.
They showed the White Vision in there for the first time.
Yeah.
So the comic book, the West Coast Avengers,
Yeah.
with him in there, it
Right.
popped in price. It really went up just because of that little thing.
Yeah.
And my personal self, I like what's in the pages. I think that's what makes a comic book valuable to me, is what's in the pages,
Sure.
not what's on a TV show or a screen.
Yeah.
And that's the way I kind of look at it. And people who watch my channel know that's the way I feel. So
Right.
hearing your thoughts on it really means something.
I don't honestly see the relevance. I mean, I must go out and now buy the White Vision. Okay, the fact of the matter was the White Vision wasn't really that interesting a character.
Yeah.
But if you really want to run out and get the White Vision, okay. I'm not going to argue with people for what they consider to be an investment.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if people want to suddenly get the White Vision comics because they're intensely interested in finding out more about the character,
Mm-hmm.
or they think that they can invest in it and make some more money out
Yeah.
of it. I don't know what their motivation is, nor do I, care all that much.
Yeah.
But I know it does happen, and go argue with speculators.
Yeah. That's not a fun argument to have.
Yeah,
Nobody ever wins on that argument.
yeah, really.
Real quick, do you have a favorite thing that you've worked on over your career? One that stands out above the rest?
It's like asking me who my favorite child is.
Well, I
I
can answer that. No, it's Father's Day, by the way. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you. My wife got me this T-shirt.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah. There are some things that work better than others. I mean, if I had to pick a single Hulk story, I'd say Future Imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
But that's mostly because George Perez did the art.
Yes, that's beautiful.
That took it to another level. I love the Fallen Angel series that I did for DC and then transferred over to IDW. In terms of novels, I enjoy the character of Sir Apropos of Nothing, who I've written 4 novels and 1 graphic novel about. But I'm incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit around at home and I make shit up.
Yeah.
And I get paid for this. I mean, it just seems kind of ridiculous.
It's wonderful.
My morning commute is 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just come up with these absurd notions, and people pay me stupid amounts of money. Okay. I part of me really can't believe that, but that's how it works.
It's a good life.
Yeah. It's
Very
nice
good
work
life.
if you can get it.
There you go. Well, Peter, thank you very much for joining us
You're
today.
welcome. Happy to do it.
It's going to be a nice, fun last day of the con.
I'm hoping so.
And like I said, I really...
Sundays are usually kind of slow, but
Yeah, that's what I'm really nice. Going to relax today and stuff. And after
Okay.
doing the panels yesterday with you guys, that was
Yep.
a lot of fun. And today I
Okay.
just get to sit here and talk to my audience. So thank you
Excellent.
so much for coming by.
happy to do it.
It was great meeting you, by the way, too.
You too.
Thank you.
Hey,
Mr. David, really quick, can I get a picture with you?
Oh, Bob needs to get a picture. So there he goes.
sure.
Everybody, that's Peter David, one and only.
That's actually not true.
He's getting his picture taken right now with Bob.
There's actually some Canadian guy
Okay.
named Peter David.
Yeah.
And this is actually a funny story.
All right.
there was a writer who worked for The Economist magazine named Peter David.
Okay.
And he wrote a book called Triumph in the Gulf. And people were bringing me copies
To get autographed?
to get autographed, even though his picture was on the back flap, and
Yeah.
it was clearly not me. And his bio was said that he was British and that he was an editor for The Economist magazine. How is that me? And I finally said, you know what? I gotta call this guy. Now, it wasn't hard. It's The Economist magazine.
Yeah.
So I found The Economist. I called up. I asked if I could speak to Peter David. And I get put on hold for a moment. And then this British woman says, hello, Peter David's office. And I said, yes, may I speak to Peter David? She said, who may I say is calling? I said, Peter David. And she said, hold on, please. And a moment later, this guy with a deep British voice says, hello, this is Peter David. And I said, Mr. David, you don't know me, but my name is also Peter David, and I am also a writer. And I thought it would amuse you that people keep bringing me copies of your book, Triumph in the Gulf, to get signed. And without hesitation, he says, would you be the reason people keep asking me to sign Star Trek
Oh,
novels?
that's crazy.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, the really depressing thing is several years later, he died. I don't recall what it is. I want to say car accident. I think that was it. And word got out, writer Peter David's dying.
Oh my God.
And my AOL email lit up. And people said, Peter, are you okay? What the hell? Why are you writing me to ask if I'm dead?
Right.
If I'm dead, I'm not going to reply.
This is true.
And I just replied to everyone going, different Peter David.
I would have just hung up the phone. As soon as you answered, oh, he's okay. Up the phone. You're good to go. Did you sign any of his books?
No, of
You
course
did?
not.
Okay, I don't know.
No, why
No,
would I?
Peter David, not Peter David.
Yeah,
Right.
no, but yeah, that was. So no, I'm not the one and only Peter David. There's actually some Canadian guy named Peter David, and I was actually contacted by Citibank to find out if I was that Peter David because they had a U.S. address for me and they thought that I might be trying something.
Wow.
No, that might be a Canadian guy who's trying to do something illegal. And I had to assure them that no, that's a totally different Peter David, But so no, I'm not the one and only Peter David.
Well, in the comic book world, you are the only one.
That's
tried.
exactly
There you
right.
go.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate
Happy
your
to do it.
time.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of the con.
Thanks, you too.
And feel free, if you want any candy, I got candy over there if you want any. Try that bowl right there. Well, Peter's like, yep. Thank you, sir.
I go away for 2 minutes. You're over here with Peter David.
I got it. I got to take advantage when there's nobody here right now.
That's
Peter
awesome.
David, Hulk 340,
Mhm.
iconic book. Him
Absolutely.
and Tom McFarlane putting that together. It's actually a book I've never owned.
Really?
I don't know why. It just doesn't make any sense why I wouldn't have that book. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's on this poster over on his booth.
Yep.
And it's the whole Wolverine, with the claws up front with the Hulk and the reflecting from the claws.
Yep.
Something that's been done many times. Are you free? Come on over.
Okay.
Come on over. We just had
I'm a
Peter
Hubert.
David.
How
Hi.
you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We are doing
Awesome.
great. Do me a favor.
What's
All
up?
right, tell them about your book about the kitty cat.
Oh, Inkblot.
Yes.
Inkblot is a young adult, high fantasy, ongoing series with Image Comics. It is about a magical cat that can do anything and go anywhere in the 7 realms of this fantasy. And our main protagonist, who's named the Seeker, she's the one who is trying to discover more about this cat while unraveling a whole plot in front of her. And that is my pitch.
So that's not a normal pitch. This is not something that, I got an idea. Where did that come from? Because that's a little unique.
Really? Well,
I mean, do you have cats, right?
I used to have a cat when
Okay.
I was younger. So I was basically inspired by what I grew up with, like Harry Potter,
Sure.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
She had a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I think it really started when I just really wanted to create a story on my own take of a witch and her black cat.
Mhm.
And that was just kind of my own take. I love fantasy. I love all this kind of stuff. But I was also inspired by my childhood. Like, I had a black cat when I was younger. She was my best friend.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just turned into Inkblot, which is like something that I really love to create.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You read it before,
I
right?
sure have.
Yeah.
I've been on it since the first issue. Absolutely love it. I've actually given it to my granddaughter,
Oh,
and
awesome.
she digs it. And so it's an awesome story
Yeah,
for sure.
it's definitely like an all ages kind of thing. There is slight violence, but you know,
Yeah.
we're in America, we can get over it.
I remember seeing that because I covered it when it came out,
Mhm.
and it was on our top 10 list. I remember reading the tagline about the cat and stuff. And I never use the blurb that they put out, you know, and I
Mhm.
always try to make it my own.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun. I can't remember what I said, but anything about a cat,
Well,
I kind of just take some liberties on it and kind of went at
If
it.
you remember, you gotta send it to me then.
I will. But is this an ongoing series?
Yes.
Okay.
So next month we're on issue 10, and then I think the second trade is coming out in either October or November,
Okay.
but I'm not positive. But it
Hard to
is
believe it's almost been a year.
ongoing, so collect all the issues, and you'll unravel like a giant plot.
There you go.
And-
And do you have different story arcs right now, or is it all just one ongoing story arc?
There are different story arcs, but it's very much like we have an overall plot to this. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it really, because with Inkblot, the cat is basically dictating the story as to where it goes because it's a cat and it likes to choose things at random.
Cats kind of control things.
Yeah, exactly.
A cat is not your pet.
Exactly. And so with Inkblot, I wanted to create it so that anyone can just pick up any number of Inkblot,
Yeah.
1 to 9 so far, and just enjoy the single issue story. But if you collect all of them, then you'll enjoy like a
The
whole
larger narrative.
plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really something that I found very important to me, because I find it very difficult for people, especially like new people to comics. Getting into them is really hard. You don't even know where to start, you know? So I think with Inkblot, I wanted it so that if you pick up whatever issue you pick up,
Yeah.
you're just enjoying yourself, watching this silly cat, enjoying the characters, enjoying the magical creatures in the land. But then, as I said before, if you get all of them, you'll see that there's going to be a plot that unravels
Yeah.
in front of you.
Do you have any other projects you're working on at all, or anything you're thinking about in the future?
Yes, but nothing to say right
Nothing
now.
to say. I gotta ask you. 'Cause we're
I
always
know, it
curious.
makes sense. It makes sense.
So when you pitched it the Image, they bought it right away. Was it a hard sell?
No,
No?
it really wasn't. Well, what really happened was that at that point, I was looking to just get my artwork out there,
Sure.
you know, because I'm 3 years into my career. I graduated in 2018 from the Kubert School.
Yep.
Plug that in.
There you go.
And I forget what I was saying.
You graduated from the Kubert School.
I graduated from the Kubert School. Oh yeah, and so I was trying to, you know, create my freelancer career, which is really, really difficult. And so at that point, I was just sending my artwork, my portfolio out to everyone.
Yeah.
And Eric Stevenson responded to it. He asked if I had any original ideas or if I wanted to work with someone. And I was like, both, anything, please. And so within that week of talking to him, me and my partner, Rusty Glad, we sat down, we looked at all of the ideas that we had, and we started to piece together Inkblot in that just week. And then we pitched it to Eric, and he was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
You didn't bring Rusty with you?
No, not
I saw
this
some
time.
videos of you guys talking about. Are you on Facebook or YouTube?
Yes.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, I saw some videos about you guys talking about it.
Yes,
I thought that was
Rusty's
pretty
not
cool.
with me this time, but he will be for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I love the book. Anything with cats, I'm good. There's the other one's called Stray Dogs. I'm not a dog person. I've heard it's really good,
I heard it was good
But
too.
I
I gotta
didn't
read
buy
it.
but a lot of people are buying that one, so I'm sticking with the Ink Blot because I'm a cat guy. It just is what it is. He's a dog guy.
But I
got a
buy
pug.
both because I love fantasy and I love dogs.
What's
and I love
really
cats.
funny is that someone wrote to us about how much they hated cats and how much they loved Inkblot.
Oh,
and,
that's
like,
awesome.
It was just really funny. They were just like, it proves how much like cats are just all over the place, and like it's just everything some people love about cats and some people hate about cats.
Yeah.
And it's just, I thought it was interesting, but he still loved Inkblot, so I was like, yay.
I think it's great. Thank you so much for
All right.
joining us.
Thank
Have you had a
you.
good con?
Yes.
It's
It was
nice
really
doing
nice.
this again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well, thank
awesome.
you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for having
Thanks for
me.
Have a
stopping
good
by.
one. Thanks. Yeah, see, when they walk by, we gotta
You
grab.
gotta grab them
We
right,
gotta
right
grab
away.
when they walk by because it's gonna get busy. Inkblot.
Nobody's with Jerry Conway. You want me to go over there and ask him?
If you want to, yeah, go see if he's free for a few minutes. That'd be great. Yeah, we're trying to grab as many people as we can right now, real fast. When it's slow, because then I'd say within about an hour it's going to really jump up. So Jerry Conway, there's nobody with him right now, but he just got there, so it might be he might not be available. But we have some other people coming very soon. Let me see on my list. On my list of people that we got here. See if they're on here. Are they on my list? They're not even on my list. I had a list. I gotta write it down better. My bad. But we got the gentleman who is doing that one book. What's that book? Radiant Black. He's actually right over there. I'm looking right at him. But he's gonna be with us probably later today. So we'll talk to him a little bit. So that should be a lot of fun. But Jerry Conway and Al Milgram are the two people that we're going to try to get, and then Chad Harden as well. Rick Leonard. Did we have Rick? I don't know if we did. I'm just kind of looking at the names, going down the list, trying to make sure that we can get everyone, within a certain amount of time. But I'm pretty much going to be doing live stuff all day today because I have an open time frame to do this. Bob has a panel here at about what's his panel? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock? Do you know? Do you know what time Bob's panel is? 1 o'clock? Okay. I think it's at about 1 o'clock, and he's going to be doing the Chris Claremont, Dan Jurgens panel. So that should be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to step away real quick. I want to grab something to drink. I'm still here. Hold on.
You need to purchase photographs. Please get there as soon as possible. Purchase them so that when you have a place to put photographs. In this building, common book stores creators are entering back this building on the opposite side of the computers. Their images displayed on the table. Private lab is here. And behind them, back inside by the whole stage is where our panels will be starting from today.
Okay.
Those are also arriving.
Jerry, we got you. We're right here, buddy. Yep. Oh, I was really hoping to have you over here. You are actually the gentleman. When I saw your name was on the list, I was like, man, I got to talk to Jerry again.
Well, thank you.
I really enjoyed meeting you a couple years ago at Rose City and sitting down and talking to you back then. We are live right now. That's the
All right.
camera right up there. That one
Hi
up
there.
top
I'm
there.
just silencing my
Sure.
my messages here. So.
There we go. Jerry, first thing I want to do, I know you're a big coffee fan, and we have a coffee sponsor. It's called Comics on Coffee, and I want to give you that blend.
Oh, terrific.
It's called Lightspeed. It's really good, and I know you're going to enjoy it. But it's a coffee company out of Florida, and the artist who does the artwork, she's actually the one that brews the coffee.
Oh,
So it's really cool.
Good.
She's very talented.
double threat.
Yeah, very much so. Anyway, first things first, Jerry, I want to talk to you about these 3 books. And tell me what is up with these books, Jerry, okay?
What do you mean? What's
All right, look at these books right here, and I'm going to show them to the camera. Look at this one right there, all right? Jerry, this is Peter Parker #1, okay?
All right.
here is, you did all three of these. 134, Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
All right, you see a trend here,
I
Jerry?
see the trend.
All right, Jerry, look at this one, 147. There you go. You see a trend there, Jerry?
Yeah, definitely it's getting poked.
What is, it's all the same cover, Jerry.
Well, you know, I didn't design the covers, but when you think about it, what else are you going to do with a character whose major threat is his pointy?
There you go. That's pretty good. I love it. When I found all three of these books, I was like, man, that is fantastic.
We also had this trend back in the 70s for yellow backgrounds.
Yes, yellow is my favorite background.
Well, it pops on the stand.
It does.
And that was the theory that you put yellow and red on a cover and it's going to sell more.
Yes, yes.
If that's all you're doing, how would you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But have you ever seen all three of these covers together like
I have
this?
not.
Okay.
I have not. It's
So
kind of,
isn't that a wonderful
and it's three
pack?
different artists
Yes.
too. I mean,
I love it. I love it. It's
Pretty
one of my
amazing.
favorite things. And to find out that you did also, I didn't know for sure if you did this one.
Well, I'm
I knew
probably
you
the
did
only
these
guy
two.
who really loved the tarantula.
Yeah, that's one of your characters.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, very cool. Real fast, let's go ahead and get into something that I know that you're very passionate about. Punisher, my favorite character by far. I've talked to you about him before. The Punisher symbol, okay, has. Well, let me just ask you, what does it mean to you? Because obviously, some people have taken it and gone a different direction, okay. But
Well-
since you are the co-creator of the Punisher, you would be the person to ask this to.
I mean, it's frustrating because the misuse of it is so blatant. You know, you wonder where these people found it and what they think it actually means. I mean, I kind of blame it on the guy who wrote American Sniper because he embraced it and it became like a macho thing for other guys who have issues with their masculinity and their desire to make themselves more than they are. It's particularly offensive to me because you got this character who's a damaged guy who would tell you that he's a damaged guy, that he's an outlaw, that he's a vigilante who's working outside the system because the system failed, and in his eyes. And he does not consider himself to be a good man. He does not consider himself to be a hero. He is an avenging angel, taking out his own personal vengeance on people. He doesn't stand for society.
Mhm.
And the idea that people in the, specifically people within the police departments, the military, who are representatives of society, would embrace a symbol of an outlaw just strikes me as, I mean, that should be grounds for immediate dismissal from those positions. It's not to say that I don't think that the Punisher has heroic qualities, and that he doesn't represent something fundamental in the American psyche. It's just that he's an outlaw.
Yeah.
He will tell you himself he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're embracing that, you're telling the rest of the world you are an outlaw and not a good guy. So I don't know why you would want to announce that unless you're completely misinformed, or you are in fact an outlaw and a bad guy.
Right.
So if that's what you embrace. I saw a post. Somebody posted a tattoo that they had of the police blue Punisher symbol. The one
Yeah.
that misuses the American flag and the Punisher symbol. And he had proudly tattooed above and below it, "I don't read Punisher comics."
I saw that one.
And I thought, talk about an obvious statement.
Yeah.
Because if you did, you would not be wearing that symbol. But there you are. I mean, what can you say? And I kind of approve of what Marvel is doing right now of retiring the symbol for a while.
Sure.
I doubt that it'll be gone forever because the character is too popular and has too much to say as a character. He provides a good commentary.
Yeah.
On society.
For sure.
And eventually, we'll be able to reuse that in an interesting way. I would actually personally love to see the symbol taken up by a black vet. You know, why not? I mean, it doesn't have to be Frank Castle.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
Frank Castle can, you know, move on, you know, or die in a hail of bullets. I mean, anything could happen. And then it would be, I think, entirely appropriate for a black or minority character to embrace that, you know, and say, I'm the Punisher now.
Yeah, absolutely,
Because-
absolutely.
People have something to say, you know.
You have a question?
No, I just wanted to talk about. There was some post that he had made a while ago about the comics industry,
Yes.
and definitely wanted to talk about that.
You made you do quite a few posts, to be totally honest.
I'm-
And they're all
you
very,
can't stop me.
very entertaining, to say the least. But you made a post last year about the comic book industry, and you made many posts about the comic book industry.
Yeah.
But really, the one that you put out there was something that we actually made a show around. Just what you had said about actually kind of starting from zero. I mean,
Yeah.
like canceling everything, redoing everything. But the thing that got me was the distribution and how comics are distributed and how that has to change.
Yeah.
If you were in charge again, what would you be doing to bring these comics to the masses how they used to back in the 80s and 90s and 70s?
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to answer from a marketing point of view because I'm not like a marketer. But I would simply think that the audience that you want to find for comics is the youngest possible audience, because that's basically what these books were created for, you know. And I think, you know, there's a tremendous value to comics for older readers, you know, comics that can be read by younger readers and older readers, comics that are specifically aimed at younger readers and comics that are specifically aimed at older readers. It seems to me that you go where the readers are.
Yeah.
You know, and right now, manga, for example,
Yes.
sells tremendously in bookstores, and you know, in other venues that exist specifically for that market. So I would think, you know, first try to go where the readers actually are, which is young readers in bookstores in the juvenile reader set. That would probably require a certain kind of book, technically, physically, that the publishers aren't right now interested in doing.
Yeah.
You know, which is maybe an 80-page comic, you know, that comes out once every couple of months or something like that. Then the other thing is try to get back on what the equivalent of a newsstand is. I know that in the old days, not the old days, just recently, 4 or 5 years ago, DC tried, you know, putting out these books through Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart and Target.
Yeah, but Walmart and Target are still, you know, kind of they're less than a casual place. You know, I mean, the old newsstands were a place that you went to on a fairly regular basis. You know, you go to Walmart a couple of times a month as a parent to buy everything that you need to buy for the month.
Mhm.
And if you bring your kids with you, you've got a lot more on your mind. How about a supermarket?
Yeah, the grocery store.
Distribution stain. I mean, you've got these you already got a sales mechanism at the checkout counter for all these newspapers, you know, Inquirer and News of the World, you know, and for the moms, why not have books right down there at the level for the kids that are priced, you know, at an appropriate price point of maybe $1, $2, cheaper paper, you know, go back to the roots, you know, of what they were, and make that the entry point for kids.
Yeah.
You know, but again, I'm not a marketing business guy. I'm thinking about it from a creative point of view, and from the creative point of view, this stuff has become so dense with history that we've lost track of what these characters fundamentally offer. You know, and if we can, because we've layered on all this mythology around them, we lose sight of what Superman is supposed to be, of what Batman is supposed to be. I mean, for kids, not
Right.
necessarily for adults, which is a whole nother market, but for kids, Batman is the guy, the traumatized child trying to fix the world. That's why the primary Batman for me is the Batman of the 50s and mid 60s.
Right.
Who had a sidekick who was a bit quippy, who wasn't, dark and gloomy. That's somebody that kids can relate to, and that's the Batman that they should be first exposed to.
Right.
It even works for the cartoons that when they do Batman. He's kind of moody and gloomy, but he's still very approachable. He's not,
Absolutely.
it's not this dark Bruce Wayne
Something a little more cheery, like
character.
Punisher.
Yeah, exactly. And the same with Peter Parker Spider-Man. I mean, the Peter Parker Spider-Man should be a teenager.
Mhm.
I've said this before. There's no rational reason why a character whose primary focus is gaining the understanding of responsibility with great power, which is a teenage issue. That's the issue teenagers face. I'm coming into adulthood. I'm gaining power. I need to be responsible. If you're 30 years old and you don't know that rule yet,
Right.
You are not a hero. You're a loser. And that's why the Peter Parker of today in the comics today, who's 30 years old, wandering around, is just wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, that's not. That's just a superhero.
Yeah.
He's a superhero with a mask, and he doesn't say anything philosophically or mythologically to a reader who's discovering the character for the first time.
Right.
How can a kid of 10 relate to Peter Parker, with his love issues and his job issues?
Yeah.
No, he related to Peter Parker who had problems in high
In
school.
high school, exactly. Absolutely.
That's why the most effective one is Tom Holland, I think.
I think so too.
Just because they focus on that adolescent energy,
For
I mean,
sure.
he's older now, but when he first had the part, he totally nailed it.
Killed it.
because
Yeah,
that's-
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do have one other question for you, and this is completely in a whole different direction. I'm a huge Daredevil fan, and I love your run on Daredevil, but you did something very unique with that character. And I kind of wanted to, I've heard some history, and I kind of wanted to clear it up. One of the things that you did was you took him to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And the story that I got was that you didn't actually live there, that you had went there and became enamored with it.
Yep.
And then somehow Marvel allows you to take him there.
Well, to answer the last part of that, back in the early 70s, we didn't have any rules. We didn't have any corporate overlords saying you've got to keep these things this way or that way.
So Stan Lee wasn't a corporate overlord?
Not in that sense, no. But he wasn't. But he didn't have a hard and fast rule about how things had to be done. He just wanted the books to feel real. The characters' lives to be interesting, their stories to be interesting. I went to San Francisco on a vacation, and I did fall in love with the city, like I fell in love with New Orleans when I went there. I fall in love with cities a lot, and I took a lot of photos. I was thinking to myself, this would make a terrific environment because of the hills for Daredevil, whose whole thing is swinging, with his billy club impossibly between buildings. But it would be very cool to see that kind of world. Plus, San Francisco had this history of being a location for noirish stories,
Sure.
film noir type stories. Alfred Hitchcock loved to shoot in San Francisco. And I thought Gene Colan would see that as a wonderful environment for the character, and he did, Plus Bullet was one of my favorite movies, and
Yeah.
I knew that Gene loved to draw car chases, and I thought, yeah, we can do some good car chases here in San Francisco. So that was the motive, and it fit in with the whole Black Widow storyline that I was going for. It was a pure impulse, and they let me do it because nobody really was overseeing it, with a set of rules.
Right. Well, I mean, I always thought that there would have been an aversion to it because taking him to San Francisco, there's less chance of crossovers happening, right?
Yeah, but you can make anything happen.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And my other thought was New York is awfully crowded,
Right.
with characters, and the perennial question is, why does this guy fight this villain when there are so many other heroes who might be better at it than he is?
Right.
Whoever that hero might be. So it gave me the opportunity to make Daredevil basically San Francisco's only superhero. He and Black Widow, they're only heroes. So it made those stories, I think, feel a little more consequential and logical.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, I think it's great that years later, I forget which writer did. I think it was maybe Brubaker, maybe Andy Diggle. I don't know, but they took him back to San Francisco when he needed a break, and so
That's
I thought
great.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
Homage to Jerry Conway.
Well, I mean, to the city we all love, you know, San Francisco by the Bay. But yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming over here. Is this your first con that you've done this year?
Yes, the first con I've done in 16 months at least, probably, I think maybe even a year and a half now.
How's it feel to get back out there?
Oh, I love it. I mean, it makes me feel grateful, you know, for the fans and for talking with people, you know, on
Yeah.
things that keep me out of just being crabby, which is my Twitter.
Your Twitter feed? There you go watch his Twitter feed. It's very entertaining. Every now and then you're like, oh, he's having one of those days.
Yeah, I call it grudge hunting, because you wake up sometimes in a mood, and then you're trying to figure out why, and you say, "Yeah, that's it."
There you go. That's awesome. Well, Jerry, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time. This is, like I said, I was really looking forward
Absolutely.
to
Good
seeing you
to see
again.
you.
Thank you so much for co-creating my favorite character, the
Well,
Punisher.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks.
these 3 books will always be in my collection right here because I can't tell them apart.
Take care, guys.
Thank you
Take
so
care,
much.
Mr. Conway.
And that will be yours. Go ahead and
Thanks.
take that.
Taking
Thank you,
it.
sir. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Awesome stuff. He's just an absolute joy to talk to.
He's great. Love Jerry.
Absolutely.
Love Jerry. I met him a couple of years ago at Rose City
Yeah.
and sat down with him back then and just talked Punisher. And I mean, I was in awe back then. You know, it's really was my first real experience of doing interviews and stuff like that. You know, and he could probably tell a couple of years ago. I was like,
Right.
This is the guy who made my favorite character or whatnot. You know, and I really didn't know what to say to him at the time.
Yeah.
But having him here, like I said, we did this panel yesterday. That was great. It was a lot of fun talking to him on there. I was really happy to bring these 3 books because I've showed these on the show many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same freaking cover.
It is the same
I mean, he
cover.
doesn't draw it, but like you said, it's 3 different artists too.
Right. Right.
And you know, but he wrote the story for all 3 of those. So just to see that and everything.
Very cool. Yeah. And I got to have an amazing moment with him yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it was every bit as much as important to me as it was when I met Roy Thomas.
Yep.
And it's this con has been amazing. And
All right.
I want to say special thanks to my wife Tina. who
Tina's
went over.
here.
Tina, come over here.
Tina, oh, this is Bob's wife.
This is Mrs. Bullseye.
And then their anniversary is coming up next weekend.
That's right.
Yep. 81 years of marriage.
80
We wear it well.
But she went over and sat at Jerry's table to watch his stuff so that he could come over here for the interview. Just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you sign any autographs?
Not this time.
You say, yeah, I'm Jerry. I'm Jerry. That's who I am.
You said if any books came and you signed them, you could keep
I
them.
can't get the
There
money.
you go. I got to go get Mark. He stopped by a couple times, like looking over here, and both times we've had guests. You know
Oh,
who
yeah.
Mark is?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to
Yeah, sure. I'll
go
grab
grab him? Yeah. Mark has got some. He's an artist, and he does some stuff on for Dynamite, and I think he might have some stuff to be given away, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully he's free, but you'll get to see him here in a minute. How's everyone doing? Sorry, I haven't really looked at the chat. You know, obviously we kind of hit the ground running today with Peter David and followed by Jerry Conway. And we're trying to get everyone in here that we can before it gets busier today. And right now, this crowd's kind of pumping here. Connie's in here. Sam's in here. Firehawk, hello. Rogue Trader gave a super chat earlier. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. But hopefully you guys are kind of getting a little bit of the Comic-Con experience at a real Comic-Con. You know, the virtual Comic-Cons or whatnot, you know, I don't... it's not the same thing, you know, to be honest, because it's just the people in their living rooms. But we're actually at a con. There's people walking around. You can hear the noise. You can smell the smells, and sometimes the smells are not the best thing to do. But you know what? Here we go. We got our next guest, Mark. Come on aboard. How you doing today?
How are you? It's good to see you, Travis. Or
Good to
should
see
I
you.
call you
Bueller's
Bueller?
fine, yeah.
Okay.
Most people don't even know I have another name. This is fine.
That's
But
great.
how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
How's the con been for you?
You know, it's coming in waves.
Yeah.
It's the first con I've done since November 2019. So
Yeah.
it's been interesting,
Yeah.
you know. So it's been a good show though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's the camera right up there. Why
Okay.
don't you introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Mark Sparaccio. I'm a comic book artist, if you want to call me that. I went to the School of Visual Arts and I studied under the legendary Will Eisner for 3 years. Yeah, yeah, it was great experience. And I almost worked for Will upon graduation from SVA, but I got a job in the advertising industry doing a movie poster for United Artists Classics for a movie called The Draftsman's Contract. And that kind of just jump-started my career in advertising. So for about 18, 19 years, I worked in advertising doing toy packaging, like for the Karate Kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for tons of stuff. WWF, WWE. Yeah, I was doing lots of
Just
wrestling stuff.
like the figure backgrounds or the
I was doing,
or like the
they
rings.
call them blister cards.
blister cards. Yeah.
And I did a lot of toy packaging for WWF. For, you know, it would be the whole package.
I probably have
yeah.
some of those.
You probably do.
That's
it was,
awesome.
It was Just Toys. I did a
Okay.
lot of work for.
Yeah.
I did some work for Jack's Pacific.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it.
The
toy
bone
company.
breaker ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember those.
Yeah. And the ones I did for Just Toys were called Bendums,
Mhm.
and they were
Yeah.
a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I did a lot of work for like GM and Colgate Palmolive. You name a big Fortune 500 company, and I probably worked for them. So
There you go.
yeah, it was cool. Then after 9/11, advertising took a dive. So
Yeah.
I contacted Will. I was like, "Hey, Will, I'm thinking about getting into comics." Because I knew they were still looking for traditional artwork, because I just do traditional work. I don't do any digital work. And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I'll help you any way I can." So I met him in San Diego one year, and he introduced me around. And then a good friend of mine, Billy Tucci, helped out.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's a good friend to have.
Oh yeah, Bill is a great guy. He's as I call him, the kid brother I never wanted.
There you go.
So no, Billy's great. You know, and then I met a whole bunch of friends that were in Will's class with me. And I met a whole bunch of guys who I admired growing up as kids. Growing up as a kid, and you know, I became friends with them. So it's been very cool. It's been a real fun ride. I got my Marvel work in, my DC work in.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of work for a lot of companies, and now I'm doing my own stuff, which is
There you go.
even more fun. A lot more fun.
Well, why don't you talk about that?
Okay, great. Yes, I'd love to. Thanks. I do want to. I'm going to use some crib notes though.
That's all right. Good.
Sorry. I'm going to use some crib notes because I was talking to my partner, James Kohorik, and he gave me a list of stuff to talk about, you know, because I asked him for it.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I speak about the right things and tell everybody when things are coming out, you know, when the books are coming out, what to expect. I've got some samples here, and I'm going to give you these samples too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, feel free. Crib notes are great.
Yeah,
We always have
it's
little.
way better. I got to put my glasses on because I can't see.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, let's see. So, James Kohorik is he's the partner in American Mythologies comics, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of books with James and American Mythology. And I just wanted to give you some of James's writing credits, okay? And James had done work for, well, he wrote Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, Stargate SG-1, Battlestar Galactica, The $6 Million Man, Army of Darkness.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done
for Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's done a ton of work.
One of my favorites.
Dead Irons, you know, and then we're going to be doing, I think, Seasons of Scares, which are going to be horror comics. Okay. He's working on a book, Fright Night, with Tom Holland.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Willy's Wonderland. I'm not really familiar about this, so James is going to have to talk to me about it a little more. But that's with Nick Cage.
Yes, that's the movie.
Okay, yes.
That's the movie. I watched that movie. It is weird.
Okay, so
he
yeah.
doesn't even talk.
Yo, no, really?
He like says like 3 or 4 words in the whole movie.
Wow, that's
and he
funny.
drinks a soda and he plays pinball.
Oh, God.
And then kills these monsters.
Yeah, so James was talking to me about that. He's going to be doing some work on Night of the Living Dead. Zorro. Don McGregor is going to be writing it. It's his first Zorro in over 15 years.
Nice.
And Jim, thanks again for these crib notes because I would have never remembered all this. He's working on, well, we're going to be releasing, I should say, American Mythologies will be releasing Adam Green's Hatchet comics. I'm not familiar with that. So also, we're going to be doing a new pulp line. American Mythologies is going to be doing a new pulp line of comics. And I'm going to be writing 2 books and illustrating the 2 books.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to be doing, writing and all the sequential artwork plus painted covers.
Yeah. So you're doing the whole shebang.
Doing a whole shebang. Yeah.
Are you
It's gonna
looking forward to doing the writing and everything?
You know what? I was writing Chelsea Dagger. That's
Okay.
my own graphic novel series. And I got some great reviews for Chelsea Dagger. So when the opportunity arose with American Mythology, I said, what the hell? I'll try writing Witch Hammer, which is going to be one of the books I'll show you guys.
Because you're telling the story when you're doing the artwork as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then just translating your artwork into words.
Well, exactly. And what Will Eisner taught us at the School of Visual Arts was the more you could tell a story through the pictures with less dialogue, the better you are. Okay? The better off you are, I should say. Because, the pictures really should carry the story, not the other way around. Will taught us to really look at like silent movies, because the silent movies were obviously silent. They had no dialogue in them. You couldn't hear it. So immigrants could go to, because we had a lot of immigrants coming in the 19-teens and 20s. So the immigrants would come in and they could still understand the movie.
Sure.
Because of the over-exaggeration and the over-exaggerated expressions in the actors. So they didn't have to be able to read the cue cards.
Yeah.
So Will said that's where he kind of got his idea of storytelling from the silent movies, and so it translated to what he was doing in comics.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it makes total sense.
That's a great way to look at it. That's
Yeah.
a great way to do it.
Because if you can tell a story through pictures without the dialogue, then you've succeeded.
Yeah, that's what I think we've talked about that before. If you can literally look at the book and not even have to read it, but still know
Right.
what it's saying, and then you can read it again, and the pictures told the story just as good as the words did,
Exactly.
and that makes it that much better.
Right. Because if you remember a lot of the comics, the early comics from the late 30s, early 40s, they were heavily dialogue.
Oh yeah.
They didn't quite understand how to sequence the story and how to do the storytelling.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's where, if you look at some of Will's early books, holy cow, it's totally different. He was telling a story through the pictures, not so much through the dialogue. I mean, the dialogue was there to support the what he was doing in the art, not the other way around.
Just like a silent film would.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. So so with what I do, that's how I try to tell a story as well. So writing is way more difficult for me than doing the art, and I greatly appreciate what writers do now because it's tough. It really is. The
whole thing is on your shoulders.
It is. It really is.
Literally.
And
No pressure.
No. I don't look at it as pressure. I'm looking at it as fun because I've done a lot of research for these books. Again, going back to Billy Tucci. When I first started writing Chelsea Dagger, Billy was like, "Mark, you can do it." And I'm like, "I don't know, Bill. It's been years since I've written, years. I mean, decades, really, at that point." So, I mean, the last stuff I had done, wrote myself, was in college. So he's like, "Don't worry, you can do it. You're smart. Just research the hell out of it."
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's
what I did for Chelsea Dagger. And so for these 2 books I'm doing for American Mythology, I did the same thing. What James wants to do, what James Kahoric wants to do with American Mythology is he wants to put out a line of pulp heroes. Okay. So pulp heroes, as most of you probably know, are heroes before the age of Superman, before action number 1.
Sure.
Okay. They have no superpowers, so he had pitched me a couple of ideas years ago. I'm talking like 10, 12, 13 years ago for these characters. And we never really did anything with them, unfortunately, but now they are going to see the light of day. So both these books are going to take place in 1938, pre-World War II. And I've just been researching the hell out of it. and I've come up with some really cool stuff, a lot of fun stuff, and I'll show you guys at home
All right, let's see this.
some of the stuff we're going to be working on. Now, this is a book. This is going to be the cover for Bombshell and Tom Tom #1. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but
It's not bad. Not bad. That's nice.
yeah. One of our friends, Robert, just took a picture of us. So anyway, so this is going to be the cover for Bombshell and Tom Tom #1. And I guess you guys can kind of figure out the story. It's about a barnstorming female aviator who comes across a robot.
Here, Bob, why don't you show
Okay,
that
but
picture
he's
a
not a
little bit?
robot. He's an automaton. I'm sorry. He's an automaton.
There we go.
God, I never can pronounce that.
That's perfect.
I never can pronounce that word right.
Perfect.
So yeah, he is an
So that's the
automaton.
cover number 1.
That's going to be the cover to #1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing cover.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, and the artwork on the inside is going to look pretty much like this.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm hoping it's not going to be painted on the inside,
Mhm.
but I'm hoping to get a great colorist. His name is Chris Summers to color over my pencils again. Chris colored over my pencils for I shouldn't say colored. He digitally painted over my pencils for Chelsea Dagger, the original graphic novel for that. So I'm hoping to get him on both these books that I'm working on, Bombshell and Tom Tom, and Witch Hammer. Now, this is the other book I'm working on. This is,
I'll put it
yes. Okay, thank
There you
you. So that's going to be the cover to Witch Hammer #1, and this is going to have a
Perfect.
different kind of feel to it. Bombshell and Tom Tom is going to be a little bit light. Witch Hammer is going to be a little darker. Okay, they're both going to take place in 1938, pre-World War II, and again, done a ton of research for both these books, and I'm having a lot of fun writing them. And they're two different styles of writing. It's taken me a while. It really has. I got to be honest. I have 4 issues scripted out of Witch Hammer. And I have 3 issues scripted out of Bombshell and Tom Tom.
Are you putting these out simultaneously or separate?
They're going to be put out pretty much bi-monthly,
Okay.
but simultaneously.
Nice.
So one will come out. I'm hoping that either Bombshell, I think Witch Hammer will probably come out first. That'll probably come out April or May of 2022. And Bombshell and Tom Tom hopefully will come out April or May of 2022. Also, what American Mythologies wants to do is they want to put out an introductory book to debut all the series that they're going to be releasing this pulp line of comics.
How many do they plan on having in this pulp line besides the 2 that you're doing?
I believe it's 5 or 6 more.
Okay.
I believe. Okay, that's still kind of an ongoing thing right now. It's kind of in flux.
Sure.
So we're
Can
trying
you
to
spill
figure
the
out
beans
those.
on anyone else who's involved?
Um,
You don't have. I don't want to put you on the
yeah,
spot.
yeah.
But I always
I
like
can't
asking.
yet. No, I know, right? I can't yet. I'm doing these 2 though. Hey,
Yeah, there you
guys.
go.
So we're hoping to do this introductory book for January or February of 2022, and the introductory book, is going to have short stories for each character.
There you go.
So Witch Hammer has a 4-page introductory story,
And
or
it'll be separate
5-page.
from the story itself, so it's not. Is it retold in the book?
No,
Okay.
it will be a separate
Nice.
story.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to introduce the characters and give
Sure.
you a good flavor for what they're going to be doing. And same thing with Bombshell and Tom Tom. It's either a 4 or 5-page introductory story that I've written. And I'm super excited about these books.
awesome.
I really am. I'm very excited. So
It'll feel pretty good.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
Like I said, no pressure.
Yeah,
No
no pressure. No pressure. No, it's a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun though. I'm really
Nice.
enjoying it, and I really appreciate the time, and I really appreciate the audience, listening. Also, James wanted me to make an offer to you guys.
Sure.
Okay. So I got to talk about I'm doing my cheat sheet stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. But this is for all you listeners of Comics with Bueller. I was going to say Comics with Travis, but that's not it. It's
Yeah, I
Comics
saw
with
it.
Bueller.
It
Okay.
didn't have the same ring to it.
No, I know. So, okay, wait. Okay, so let's see. Where is it? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so James is going to offer you a free signed comic when
Okay.
you go to American Mythology, it's let me get the correct. Here we go. It's right here. AmericanMythology.net/shop.
Okay.
Okay. So he's going to offer everybody who wants to take advantage of this a free signed comic from American Mythology.
Nice.
And, I think there's a coupon code. Wait till you hear the coupon code. Let's see if I can find it. Where'd it go? All right. The coupon code is, you guys ready? Sparaceo.
All right.
Yeah, my last name.
Okay.
So, maybe I should
How you
write that
spell
down.
Yeah, write that down.
And show you
Write
guys.
down so we get the spelling
All
right
right.
and everything.
So the coupon code is. Could you tell I was a letterer at 1.2?
Yeah. And what's the website they go to?
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you. Good point. Let's write that in there too.
And we'll get all this information out there to everybody. We'll get it a little easier for them to
Probably copy and
contact.
paste it down in the comments.
Yep.
Okay, cool. It's American Mythology .net and then /shop.
There you go.
So that's a /.
All right, Bob,
All right.
show this to the camera.
Thanks, Bob.
There we go.
And this is going to be the rough draft of this.
Oh.
And then we'll do an official one, like with graphics and everything.
Cool.
And it'll pop up. Yep,
Yeah.
that'll
perfect.
work. There you
So
go. Free
it's-
signed comic book.
Yes, free sign an American Mythology comic book. The coupon code is my last name, Sparaceo. So there you go. There you go, guys.
So how long is that good for?
I don't know how long it's good for. That's a
All
good
right.
question.
If they can make it good for a week, because we could
Oh, I'm
actually
sure it'll
we
be
can
longer
promote
than
it and
that.
put it on our regular
Okay.
shows, and then
I'll let Joe.
have it look
I'll let,
all fancy
I'll
on
let
the screen and
James
everything.
know. I'll
That'd
let
be
James
great.
know. Yeah. So
You're definitely going to have to send me some copies of that book.
yeah.
and
Well,
stuff.
I'm gonna give you
And,
guys. I'm gonna give you guys a copy of these each.
nice.
Okay.
thanks.
So I'm gonna get you one of both of these, and Bob, I'll get you one of both
Thank
of
you
these
so
also.
much.
Oh, you're welcome. I should have
Please sign
brought.
them.
I should have brought. I should have brought.
You
Yeah.
wanna sign 'em?
I'll just sign them. So in case things blow up, you can put them on eBay and make some money.
There you go. You just made some money on you, baby.
I just
There,
did.
there you go. That's what we want to hear. All right.
Awesome.
So, and these are the first ones I'm signing because this is the debut of both these books right here
Nice.
on the Comics with Bueller show.
That's
That is
fantastic.
awesome.
So yeah, no, I really appreciate it, guys, and everybody out there watching this. I'm excited about both these books. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. I hope you give them a chance.
Yeah.
Look for the introductory book in January or February of 2022
There you go.
in your local comic book shops, but also take a look at it in Diamond. Probably what that would be in October, November.
Yeah.
Right.
Diamond, yeah, or maybe December, depending on how long.
There you go.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to meeting people, and you can look for me on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Do you have any other con appearances scheduled?
Yes, I'm going to be doing. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot, but I will be doing New York Comic Con, C2E2, and I believe it's Florida SuperCon.
Nice.
In
I'm trying to make plans to hit New York.
okay,
so
good.
I might see you there.
Please do. I'll be with Comic Sketch Art
Nice.
in Artist Alley. So yeah, please come check us out, Travis. By then, I might have. I shouldn't say might. I'll have pages
There you
done for both these books because I want to start really pushing on that.
Awesome.
Yeah, once the scripts are done, then I start doing the art.
Very
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Mark,
So,
thank you.
Hey,
This has
Travis,
been great.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bob, thank you very much.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
appreciate it. Everybody out there, thank you very
Free
much.
comic. There you go. Sign
Yeah.
down. Put that up there one more
Yeah,
time. before
one
you
more
go.
time. And please check out American Mythology Comics, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Appreciate
Appreciate
your
it.
time. Have
Thank you.
fun signing today and doing all your stuff.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
come
you.
by a little bit
I
later
really
and say hello
appreciate it.
again.
Thanks,
Pleasure.
guys. Yeah, I'm going to come back. I'll bring 2 more of these,
Awesome.
and I'll
you so
sign them up
much.
for them.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Take care, guys. Bye, everybody out there. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great guy. Great guy. Great stuff that he's doing. I love this. Honestly, this is probably my favorite.
Mhm.
It's kind of got the old Russia. I see this and I see like the Russian, like
Iron
the
Giant.
Iron Giant. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool.
I like how
for-
the other one, how it's got the girl, she's got like the gunslinger vibe, but she's got a Tommy gun and a sword.
yes. Who had that? Who had the that was the Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But anyway, this gentleman, Mark, he's going to be doing the whole shebang.
that's amazing.
That's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task.
You have, because when I go through and I look at books, and like when I'm putting together my videos and stuff, I'm like, okay, who's the writer, who's the artist, and it's the same person.
Yeah,
And it's doing the cover, it's the same person. The guy that did the Wonder Woman one, who's now doing the Beta Ray Bill.
right. I
Um,
can't ever think of his name.
Yeah, but he did the whole shebang for that,
Yeah,
and that's a lot of work, man.
it is. It really is. Well, the only saving grace for them is that, with a writer and an artist on a comic book, usually a chemistry needs to happen because one is basically putting the vision on page,
Yeah.
and the other one is taking that vision and putting it into, a storytelling format with art. And when you are the one that's actually laying the vision down, then it makes it a little bit easier to go ahead and because it's your vision. And so for that part, I would think that an artist would love that. But at the same time, it's all on his shoulders.
There you go.
All that work is just, oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry, we didn't sell any. Oh God, that's not what he wants to hear.
Yeah, but
So anyway, very cool. Like he said, he's going to be bringing some stuff over. Bob's going to get a set of these as well,
woo.
autographed. And I couldn't, I'm going to pronounce that. I knew his first name was Mark, and I saw his last name,
Sparaccio, there
and
we
I was
go.
like, spaghetti-o?
I got you covered, bro.
There you go. But that was pretty cool. I remember
Yeah.
them, he was talking about they were going to be doing something for our audience or whatnot. So we'll promote it during the week, and I'll put some graphics on the screen so it's be easier to find and get a free book,
Yeah.
an autograph. Is it autographed by him? He didn't really say it. It said it was just signed.
You just said it was signed. You did.
Yeah, I think they're all signed by Stan Lee.
That'd be amazing.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think
we had
that's the case.
We had these signed posthumously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, here he comes. We'll ask him. We got a question for you. Yeah. So, so you said they get a signed book. Who signs it?
One of the creators of the book.
Okay,
will
so
sign
not
it.
Stan Lee.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, not Stan Lee.
We're like, oh, they're giving away free Stan Lee books.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what?
we just flooded the
It's-
website.
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. It is Stan Lee.
Okay, there you go.
Everybody go to American Mythology.
There you go.
Yeah, no. It would be one of the creators of the American Mythology
Okay.
book that
Okay.
they get.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
we figured.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thank
know.
you so very much.
I should have been a little clearer.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
We like to build the buzz.
Yeah.
For those few seconds, people were, oh my God.
Thank
That's
you
what
so much
counts,
for these
right?
copies.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and thanks everybody out there. I hope you check it out. Please check out, Bombshell and Tom
There
and
you
Witch
go.
Hammer. I guarantee you it'll be fun reads.
Awesome.
All right. So
Appreciate it,
thanks,
sir.
guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day, everybody
too.
out there. Take care.
Appreciate
You
it.
too.
All right. Take
Thanks.
care, guys. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Hey, you gonna be
Absolutely.
coming? You gonna be
I'm
coming
hoping
here?
to. Hoping
All right,
to.
good.
We'll see what
Great,
happens.
Bob. Good.
There you go.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Oh, these are amazing. Thank you. Thanks again.
All right, let's hold them up together.
Yeah.
Look at this.
For sure. Yeah.
There you go. That's my signed prints now.
I got signed prints too.
Not bad. Boom.
You get stuff when you come to cons, and I
You
love it.
get stuff. You're nice to people, and they give you stuff. That's the best thing about the cons. You
Yes,
just
it
be
is.
nice. You show them attention. You're nice to them, and they're like, "Hey, that guy's not so bad."
Yeah. That's
Besides
pretty cool
Bob.
stuff. I'm gonna go put mine away, man.
All right. We need to get the guy over from. What's the guy who did the Radiant Black? Kyle Higgins. Yes, he walked by earlier, and he said he was going to stop by. And we need to get Kyle Higgins over here. But he's doing Radiant Black, which is another one, which is by it's the superhero one that Image Comics is doing.
Okay. You guys just can't get rid of me.
That's all right.
That's all right.
All right. Hey, I'm
You
back.
forgot your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that wasn't a plant. That wasn't a plant.
You know what? Let's
There was
do
a-
another segment.
There was a
guys. What do
$100
you
bill
say?
on top of that
That's
phone.
right. What do you say? We'll do another segment.
There you
This
go.
time I'm going to interview Bob
Okay.
and Travis
Okay.
of Comics with Bueller.
There you go.
All right. So how do you guys start this?
Well, actually, I started Comics with Bueller,
Yes.
and it was literally I was sitting at home doing nothing, and I was unemployed. I was like a month away from going on disability,
Oh gosh.
and that was my life. I was just sitting on the couch, and I was like, well, kids are older, they're gone. This is it. Every day looked the same. And a buddy of mine called me up and said, hey, there's a comic shop open up. I remember you used to like comics when you were a kid. And so I'm like, yeah, it's just right down the street. So I went down to the comic shop, walked in, and smelled the smell. And
Oh yeah,
and,
there is a distinct smell.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Bought a handful of 50 centers. Came home. The first comics I bought in like 25 years.
Right.
Came home and I looked on YouTube and I typed in comic books. And I just started watching some people showing their books. I'm like, I can do that. And so I just picked up an old iPad, stacked it on a bunch of boxes, and made a video. And pretty much it kind of blew up from there. People
Wow.
started watching. And then Bob was actually a viewer. And he noticed I referenced an area, a coffee shop that sponsored the show. And he's like, that's right down the street from my house. So he sends me an email. And he's like, I think you're talking about the coffee shop down the street from me. I go, yeah, that's the one. So we went and met and had coffee.
Talked
and-
for hours.
And talked
Oh,
for a
that's
few
great.
hours. And that was it, you know. And it was really nice because my niece and my nephew and his soon-to-be wife, they asked me to perform their wedding ceremony.
Oh,
I didn't know how.
are
to.
you an ordained minister?
I not anymore. I ran out. It
Oh,
was
okay.
only good for a year. But
But I am.
Bob is a pastor.
Oh,
So
excellent.
I was like, Bob, I go, hey, do you do weddings? She's like, yeah. I go, this is meant to be because I had no idea
Exactly.
what to do. So Bob stepped up and showed me how to, perform a ceremony and everything. And we've been
Oh, that's
really good
great.
friends ever since. And I was like,
Okay, now how long have you been doing?
the YouTube?
Yeah.
3 years. And
3
Bob
years now.
has been on board for about a year and a half.
Just about all. Yeah, we're coming up on 2 years here. Pretty
Oh,
soon.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So I was like, come on board. But Bob, he just kind of, he wrote an email. That's all it took.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
telling his wife,
See, and that's
I go, this is all
that's
because of an email.
the origin story of Comics with Bueller.
There you go.
There it is. Have you ever told the origin story
Oh,
before?
yeah. We do that
yeah.
all the
Many
time.
times.
I thought I was the first.
No. A lot of people want to know where the name came from
Yeah.
and everything. And we've been asked many a times, but
Yeah.
we
Very
never
cool.
get tired of sharing the story. And it's just, I think I give Bob a lot of credit because bringing Bob on the show, because the Coffee and Comic Show is our main one. It's like our talk show we do on Monday. It was just me doing it. It was just me talking to a camera, and then
Right.
I run out of stuff to talk to.
Yeah, sure. And now
And,
you got somebody
yes.
to interplay,
Yeah.
and
And
interact with.
Adding him there was the main difference. It's like we can do topics, we can
That's
have
great.
conversations.
Yeah.
He's
And-
local. He can just come on over. You
Yeah.
know, so
The best thing about it is that we're just ourselves, and our
Right.
relationship comes out. And I think that right here is probably the bigger draw of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody can talk comics, you
Yeah.
know. We can talk it for hours.
Yeah.
But we're genuine, and I think people do appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And that's the way it should be. And I'm looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
our episode.
there you go.
When do you think that'll be on?
Well, this is live right now.
Right. I know it's
Well,
live
when I start covering this, it'll probably be next week sometime.
next week. Okay.
And I'll let you know. I don't think we're going to do a Monday show because we're going to be pretty.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
exhausted.
be wrecked.
Toast.
But I
Yeah.
think we're gonna, and he's gonna be celebrating his wedding anniversary next weekend.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
So that's
Very
pretty
nice.
cool. But we'll definitely put something together over the next couple of weeks and stuff.
Okay.
But normally our coffee video is the one where we really take the time and focus on some stuff, and that's what that video is dedicated to. Is
Okay.
talking about comics and what's going on and stuff like that.
Cool.
So
All right.
We
I look
have a-
forward to seeing it.
we have a guest co-host next time
Next
because
week.
he's out of town. So we have Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart. That's the name of her channel. What a great channel name!
Yeah, it is.
And she'll be the guest. So we'll probably be talking about that. 'Cause
Very nice.
She's a big indie fan. That's kind of her niche.
Cool.
Indian
And she
horror.
loves that
Oh.
stuff. So
Well, there
She's
you
an
go.
Awesome soul.
Indian horror.
yeah,
There we go. Exactly.
Awesome.
So cool. Very cool. Well, again, guys, I appreciate it. I didn't expect to come back a third time.
That's all right.
I realized
That's all
my
right.
phone wasn't. I checked my pocket and I go, I left my phone.
we'll
All
take
right.
it.
So
All
thanks
right.
again.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
Someone good to
guys.
meet you.
Great, yes, great meeting you, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in the
All right,
future. Okay?
appreciate it.
Take care,
Sounds
everybody. Bye bye.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
look, he left his phone again.
Oh man, he's a great guy. That's
yeah,
awesome.
he's really nice. I met him yesterday, and I was like, "Is there in the other alley over there?" And he's done some covers for Dynamite and stuff like that, some Red Sonja and stuff, and they're really good-looking covers. Obviously, it's the ladies and stuff.
Yeah.
But
But he's
Yeah.
got a background for, from coming from Will Eisner School, but also he took the same path that Neil Adams did.
Yeah.
Went into going into advertising. So he's got an eye, for art a certain way, just
Yeah.
like Neil did, which some of the best covers in the
I
world.
love
come from
it.
guys
I
like
didn't
that.
know he did the wrestling stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
because,
that is
I mean,
cool.
I've bought many of those blister packs of those characters.
Mhm.
And you know, it's kind of the thing like with the GI Joe, you know, characters with the remember the old blister pack for the GI Joe, the big orange
Yeah.
and stuff in the drawing, and those are really cool.
Those are awesome.
The wrestling ones were the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and to know that he did those, that's pretty cool. Man.
That is really
I
cool.
wouldn't mind having some of those autographs or whatnot.
That's a little
But
bit
I
of
ripped
history
those
right
things open and threw them away.
there. Yeah.
Sorry, man. I threw away your work. I couldn't resist.
Oh.
All right, you want to go see if the Radiant Black guy is around?
Kyle Higgins?
Yeah, do you know where he's at?
I think I do.
He's right over where Mark was.
All right, sounds good.
We're gonna see if we can't get this guy over here. Talk about how he killed. I'm gonna spoil it. He killed off the main character. Did you know that? Bob's wife didn't know that. But yeah, like the Radiant Black one, it's about a superhero in the Image universe, and it's drawn some similarities. Okay, sounds like he has a line, so we're gonna have to wait until that line kind of goes down. But can you hand me that Radiant Black up there? It's right up on the top shelf. Thank you. So this is number one. This is the Things from Another World exclusive book. But this book is about this guy. He's kind of down and out, you know, and he's with his buddy, and he just kind of gets superpower. He finds like this helmet or something like that, and he gets like superpowers and stuff. And it really, I remember reading the first one. It was really nonchalant, like, oh, this happens every day.
Yeah.
People just get superpowers to where you would think that that's not an everyday occurrence.
Right.
Okay. But as the series has gone on, and I don't know if you were with us because I think maybe you had to go, but were you there with us when Jim Mint came on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Jim really liked this book.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had mentioned that the main character, they killed him.
Which blows me away. I mean,
And I hadn't been on. I was like, that's kind of interesting.
I read the first issue and it didn't grab me.
Yeah.
And so I took it off my pull list. But
Yeah.
after hearing Jim,
Yeah.
I was like, I got to put it back on.
Yeah. And I was the same way. So I bought the latest issue because they killed the main character. And now the friend that he was with, his buddy, is kind of taking on the mantle of the Radiant Black character and whatnot. But in the newest issue, he's not dead.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Spoiler alert. I don't even know if that book's
I just
out
know.
yet.
I just know that in the latest issue, Robbie said it's like Power Rangers. You already
Yeah.
did Power Rangers.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Like this is like the. I mean, this is the first page. This is the guy looking at his current balance.
In your cell phone.
Yeah. So he's like, he's having a bad day. So he's got literally $46 on his cell phone and negative $38,000 for his credit card bill. So he's not having a good day.
Not a happy camper.
We're gonna have to ask him. Is that number referring to anything?
Right.
Where did this start? This has to have a little bit of meaning.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not just a random number. But anyway, the artwork in this is really good. I enjoyed that. But yeah, there's a lot of comparisons to Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But apparently this guy now is the main character and stuff.
Interesting.
And I got to get caught up with it, and maybe Kyle can do that for us, to be totally honest. Like I said, I read the first one,
Mhm.
and
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I think I had it on my top 10 list when it came out.
Time for our first panel. In the back, Coca-Cola
Let's see what else we got
store
going on.
area.
There's some great full panels right there,
Yeah.
like that.
11 a.m.
Uh,
Coca-Cola stage.
yeah, and it's kind of funny. Like I said, there's other characters very similar that are like the villains
Yeah.
that have gotten them as well, and they're just different characters, like the blue, the red, the green, or whatnot.
Right,
So that's where the Power Ranger comparison
Sure.
comes from. It's
Sure.
something like that. But it's just, I don't know. I think Image is trying to get into the superhero market a little bit. They've released titles like this one. They've released titles like what's the other one? The with the girl in the dark,
Oh, Noctera.
Noctera. There you go. That's the other one. A few other ones coming down. I mean, I don't think the Ultra
Ultra
Beast,
Mega.
yeah, it's a superhero one.
Yeah. Well.
Kinda.
Yeah. Kinda.
I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Well,
I didn't get to read the last issue of Ultra Mega. The one before that didn't grab me, but I have it.
we've been live now for about an hour and 24 minutes, and we've had who do we have so far? We had Peter David,
Jerry Conway,
Jerry Conway. That was awesome. We had Mark
Sparacio,
Sparacio. I can't pronounce it.
Sparacio. That's
Sparacio. I'm glad he
Okay.
wrote it down. Now I'll know it. I still won't know it. Mark Spaghettio. Let's hear it. Hopefully he doesn't watch this part.
right.
Well, There's Jim Starlin just showed up. Good to see him again.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, you had a nice night.
Well, he came and stopped by yesterday.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was in here. Let's see. Chris Claremont's line is still large.
Yeah.
It's always going to be like that.
Well, and Al's line is large as well.
Yeah. Al is killing it, man.
Yeah, he is.
We still need to get Al Milgram. Did we have Chad Harden?
No, haven't had Chad Harden yet.
Okay. Did we have Rick?
Haven't had Rick Leonardi either.
Okay. You want to see if any of them want to come
Sure.
over? We're going to see if we can get a couple other guests here. It's so nice because we're like literally just looking right at them the whole time. And, it's they can just come on over there because they've been staring at us, doing things and doing work and stuff. So makes it really easy when they can't get away from us. They can't, can they? They can't get away from us. They're like looking at us the whole time. So they planned it this way. They planned it. So we got Rick Leonardi coming over here. He's a featured guest here at the con. Rick, hello. How are you? I'm doing great. It's nice to have you here. We've been staring right at you this whole time.
Barstool.
Yeah, they're actually from my personal home. They have these black ones already here. I was like, man, I need my bar stool. So I brought that. Does it work for you?
Yeah.
Awesome. How's it been going? Looks like
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's been steady, and there's all kinds of fun things to look at when you're not doing art.
Yeah. You've been doing
Yarn-
commissions the whole time? Or? Yeah.
A lot of commission work, a lot of signing. All my signatures. I charge $1, and it all goes to the Heroes Initiative. So
Nice.
they're making out pretty good. to be
That's
honest
awesome.
with you. People have been really generous.
Wow. Yeah, I've noticed that, we talked about the Hero Initiative a little bit earlier, and I've actually worked with the Hero Initiative for some charity
No,
events.
McLaughlin runs a good. That's legit.
Yeah.
That's legit. I've looked into it, asked around, and you can contribute to them without any fear at all.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, we have a local rep around here,
Colin Stapleton.
Colin Stapleton. Yeah, he's a local rep for the Hero Initiative.
Cool.
We've had Steve Borak on the channel, and that was one of the deals. If we had him on there, we'd talk about the Hero Initiative and all the stuff that we could do for them and stuff like that. So it was really good. We promoted some charity auctions and stuff and raised quite a bit of money for the Hero Initiative.
Well, my wife set me up with an actual official looking cash box, which I was supposed to bring along to all my shows, and I forgot it.
Oh man,
Everything is going into my breast pocket, which probably looks a little suspicious.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Is this your first con you've done this year?
It's the first con in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Back in the saddle again. And like I say, it's been this is a great facility, and there's a lot of other stuff going on here too. I was hanging out with the Army National Guard here.
Yeah, isn't that
I'm working
great?
working on a graphic novel right now that involves a Black Hawk helicopter getting shot down.
Okay.
So I'm climbing all
Can you
over
share
there.
the name of that?
Yeah, it's called Blue Angel.
Okay.
It's got to come out from the U.S. Naval Institute Press.
Sure.
160 pages or so,
Nice.
if I ever finish it. But
How long have you been working on that?
To be honest with you, I've been gestating the idea for like 20 years, but I've been working on the art for the past year and a half.
Yeah.
And it's all military with the superhero thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not a superhero story with military stuff thrown on as window dressing. It's a military story with a superhero that's kind of trying to fit into the context.
Yeah.
So lots of fun.
Nice.
But like I say, it's got a Black Hawk in it, and I was climbing all over that thing, taking pictures, and I'm like, I'm good to go.
Yeah, those things are awesome.
Yeah.
I was here when they were landing the other day, and it's heart pounding. You feel it. Your body vibrates when they're coming down. They're amazing. Do you have any other projects you're working on right now?
Too many. Yeah, there's supposedly, well, not supposedly. It's legit. It's for real. It's happening. Ron Mars and Andy Lanning are doing a graphic novel through Zoop, which is a new startup, Soup the Nuts Kickstarter kind of
Sure.
outfit, called Resolution, and it's kind of it's got some Green Lantern sort of feel to it, kind of Nova Corps, but it's all spacey. And they want to kick that off maybe next week.
Nice.
And at this point, I am way behind in producing anything visually for that.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm way behind on that, you would think, is because of this other graphic novel that I just mentioned, but no, it's because of I have to do 16 pages of continuity for an issue of Nightwing,
There you go.
which just showed up all of a sudden.
You're a Nightwing fan, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I love
Yeah.
Tom Taylor's run that he started just now.
Yeah, it's getting a wave of rave reviews. But yeah, apparently Tom's written a story where we go back and we visit the early lives of Dick Grayson's parents.
Oh wow.
And in respect, in as much as that's a flashback sequence, they wanted a departure, a visual departure. So I got to get on my horse and finish that up. Andy Lanning's inking that, so that'll be interesting.
Well, sounds like you have a pretty full plate.
Too full.
And then now you're at the con here.
At my advanced age, that's too much.
Are you going to have time to do a little remark on our little thing that I had you sign earlier? You had mentioned like, hey, if there's any space, let me know.
Yeah, you could throw that at me at some point. Or
Yeah.
do it on camera.
Yeah.
Forget that. So, yeah.
Do you have any work that's really special to you that you've done that just kind of holds a special place in your heart?
Well,
I ask that to a lot of people, and I get a lot of
it,
about the charity books that have been out there. and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It goes. The answer to that changes daily. A guy just came up just now and reminded me of the 3 issues that we did for Death Wish Coffee.
Yeah.
Ron Mars wrote them. It's a Viking story, really obscure. You probably have to go to deathwishcoffee.com if you ever want to. I think they have a digital version you can download.
Yeah.
Paper version you can order, but you have to really exert yourself to get a copy of it. But issue 3, I actually did a lot of the writing of it. And the guy reminded me, issue 3 is my favorite issue. I'm like, you know what? That's good to hear.
That's awesome.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Do you ever mess with people when they come to your booth and they show a book and you're like, oh, that's not one of mine? I've had a few curators do that to me, especially Bagley did that to me one time.
Yeah.
And I knew it was his book.
Yeah.
I knew it had his name right on the front. He's like, nope, I didn't do
I
that.
didn't do that.
And I just kind of swallowed my heart real quick. Have you ever done that before? You got to have a little bit of fun.
It happens to me. It happens to me the reverse way.
Yeah.
People show up with like a run of Spider-Man 2099, and I have to pull out the Kelly Jones issue.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's Kelly Jones. It's really good, but it's not me. So that happens fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Attention summer contest.
Another, people bring up that Ram. I did an issue of Ram Thanagar Wars. I forget the actual official name of it. But for whatever reason, Al Milgrom is credited as the penciler on the cover, which is too bad because it's actually a really good story that Dan Green inked the heck out of it, and that's one I wish I had credit.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Well, it looks like you're getting the line over there, Rick, so I don't want to hold you back here or there. So we'll let you get back to the booth.
I thought we'd just sit here and heckle.
He's coming. Rick, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See ya across the street.
There you go. Yeah, he's got people waiting for him, and we're keeping him over here. I feel kind of bad.
I wanted to ask him about what he thought about Cloak and Dagger on Freeform and
Oh, yeah.
how he felt about that portrayal, but I'd much rather hear him talk about his artwork and what he thinks about that. So
I didn't know he was doing the Nightwing one.
I didn't know that either. That really excites me. That's
Is he-
awesome.
Has he been doing it? Or did
No.
He, okay, so he's just now jumping
Yeah,
on it.
he's hopping on.
Okay.
Like, he's doing that story arc.
I'm not
Which is-
tremendously. I mean, I have some of the stuff written down, like the and stuff, but I would have to refresh myself to see some of his work. I know he's got tons of it because I was
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at a bunch of it. So the Cloak and Dagger is some of your favorite?
Cloak and Dagger, some of my favorite. I love the artwork in Spider-Man 2099, especially the design of that new costume.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are the ones that stand out to me the most. But he's done so much.
Yeah.
And
I
it
didn't-
sounds like he's still doing a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know he was donating all his proceeds to the charity.
That was amazing.
$1 a signature? That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I bet you, we always talk about the comic book community and they're very generous. So I'm sure a lot of people are just dumping, here's $20 or
Right.
whatnot,
Absolutely.
That's
That's a great
awesome.
Nightwing costume.
Yeah, it's a little tight around the ass.
I wasn't looking at that, buddy.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, while you were doing the interview with Peter David, I went and pulled the trigger on a couple of books. One of them I think you'll be excited about.
Okay.
So there's that one.
Oh, yeah. You didn't have that?
I didn't have that one.
Why not?
I did have it, but I didn't have it.
Okay. Ooh, look at that bad boy.
Yeah.
I like it.
So there you go. Got that one, and then first appearance of Elektra. Got it back in my collection again.
I am very surprised you didn't have that.
I didn't. I had it, and I let it go because it was a shabby copy, and I knew I'd be trading up, and this was
Yeah.
my trade-up point.
Nice.
So there
That
it
Days
is.
of Future Past is nice too.
Yes, it is.
I don't have that one.
I don't have the. I have that one. I need the second issue now.
I have the second issue.
Do you?
Yeah, you want to buy it?
Well, actually, maybe I do.
What do you mean, no?
Well, if you're gonna get rid of it, then yeah. But I was like, wait a minute, that's your book, though, man.
He left his mask. Is it the one guy? Is it Mark's mask or is it that guy's mask? I think it's Rick's.
I think it's Rick's.
Yeah, you want to take it back? I think it's Rick's. Careful with it. Maybe it's probably that Mark guy trying to make another appearance. Anyway, Rick's a really nice guy. I met him on Friday when we first started and stuff. And when I had all those people sign the painting or whatnot, or the portrait, he said, "Hey, well, if there's any other room at the end of this, let me know and I can put a remark." So I'm really looking forward to having him do that. Maybe some other stuff as well. But anyway, all right. I think I'm going to end it for now. And we're probably going to come back a little bit later because Bob has got to get ready for a panel coming up pretty quick. And, well, not pretty quick, but in a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to call it good for a little while.
Sure.
So it's been about an hour and 40 minutes of doing the stream and everything. I want to say thank you to everyone. Hopefully everyone has appreciated watching this. We'll have other guests as the show goes on. Probably later. We'll probably be back in a couple hours. And
Should we get Chad Harden over here?
Chad Harden, we got to get him over here.
Al Milgram.
Chad Harden, Al Milgram, and what's his name?
Joe Rumsey.
I don't know.
He's a little rough this weekend.
No, there's a few other guys I wouldn't mind having on as well. So
Kyle Higgins.
Kyle Higgins, there you go. And then the guy, the Saab guy, I'd like to have him over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice dude. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. This is fun. I think we're doing pretty good today. It definitely feels like the last day of the con,
For sure.
but not bad at all. There's Superman right over there.
Superman.
Not a bad Superman.
No.
This looks good.
Yeah, I don't know what the other guy is. He's either a Mandalorian or a Sith. I don't know.
It's a Sith Mandalorian.
There we go.
Is that a thing?
Nope.
Should be. All right. We'll see you soon, everyone.